I've had a tough year, I think, if I'm honest. Like I have not found this I've not found the first 6 months of this year easy. Initially I really battled with this whole thing about like becoming a leader,
yeah.
And I probably built that up far bigger than it actually is in my head, and was like, I don't know, like kind of ruminating on like what leadership means and all that. And then just the weight, I think, of what we're working on, especially in the last kind of 3 months in particular. We've started talking a lot about risk in the business. What would happen if the worst were to happen after someone has gone to a Sanctus session, if someone was to take their own life, or if someone comes to a Sanctus session and is abusive towards a coach, like these incidents that might fall outside of our current boundaries. And you've got 25 coaches, some of them seeing up to 60 people a month. And we have a responsibility to the coach to protect the coach, but also to the individual and to the business we're working with. So,
well, you've told me, without going too deep on this vlog, you've had like woken up having dreams or nightmares,
a load of sleepless nights, which I've never ever had before in my life. Like I'm usually, in terms of sleep in particular, I'm usually just like get in bed, bang, like conk out, wake up 8 hours later. And,
I remember you.
I don't sleep.
It was like and it was like a dream about this fictional person in the community. Something had happened.
No, I've had loads of dreams like related to Sanctus, and the feeling associated with all those dreams has been worry, like fear. Which again is probably just a representation of kind of where I'm at. I had one night where I was just lying in bed and I could just feel the weight, like as if I could feel the weight of everything just kind of bearing down on me. And that's been, and no matter kind of what culture you create, and obviously we've got an incredibly open culture here, it's still difficult. I can't come in every day and say that, like there's still a high percentage of that you kind of have to bear and just support yourself in. I'm not saying you keep it all in. Like, and I did talk to like Sarah about how I was feeling, and I've talked to the team in the groups we do and stuff, but still there.
But now, like even the team we've got around us at the minute, and it's grown again, even to 8 people in September is a big jump.
Yeah.
And the thought of having those people around us to like support, you keep using the word weight, like does mean the weight's spread.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think, we're in a phase where we're shifting from like a couple of people doing everything to really shifting to people really owning and taking stuff away from us, I suppose, and doing it better than us. And I also think as well in this game, there's certain things that you can worry about and certain things you can spend all day and night worrying about. And this is me talking to myself here, not you. That you just can't affect. Like there's certain things that you're not in control of, that you can't do anything about. And actually spending time thinking about it is a waste of energy, because nothing you can do in that moment will change that. I think that's been a bit of a learning for me in the last.
And you've been you've been the same. Like you've not had sleepless nights, but you've.
I had a day. I don't know if you weren't here, Scott. I don't even know the team know this, but it was a couple of weeks ago. It was a Friday, and you were away, and there was a lot going on. I'd had like a super busy week. And like for some reason I just came in and everyone wanted my attention. Things were going on, like my email inbox was full, and I just felt this rush of like I need to get out of the office. Like it was just like overwhelming, sort of this rush of like I need to get out. And I didn't want to say, I couldn't really explain like what it was, so I couldn't say to like George or Vic, I've got loads of anxiety, so I need to leave the office. It was like I came up with some sort of excuse, like picking up my bike, and I needed to go and get my bike, which I did actually need to do. I was picking up this new bike. I was like, I need to go and get my bike, and I just needed to walk. Went round, and actually for that whole weekend, I spoke to Tash about it. Like I just wasn't really like, even talking about it now, it's quite like I can't even describe it. It was just like a rush of like, I think it was a build up of like a few weeks of just a lot going on, and then. It just came out in that way, and I just needed to just get away.
Just because our business is about mental health doesn't mean that like everyone who works here's mental health's going to be like
true, but
perfect.
I spoke to my mum keeps calling me back now because I told her about it, and she's worried. She's like, she keeps asking about work loads for the first time. Well, for more than ever.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to describe. So my mum and dad are asking, what's going on? Like, what is it? Why do you feel like that? Like,
yeah.
Is there something going on at the work? And I couldn't articulate or define.
Well, it sounds like you don't know either.
No, but I think a lot of the time you can put it down to a few things, like how you've been feeling.
Yeah.
Like I can, but at the same time, it just happens, and
yeah.
no matter what the environment, you can't control it at sometimes as well.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
100%.
Like, it's just because it's Sanctus and like we sit around and talk about our feelings in a group all the time.
100%.
That if anything, that means you're more in tune to your feelings. So you're going to feel this sort of stuff more often, and you're going to talk about it more often.
100%.
So I imagine at Sanctus, as we grow, like the number of mental health sick days taken at Sanctus will be probably far higher than anywhere else, because we're more aware of how we're feeling.
But I do feel lucky that we can say stuff like this, like in front of each other, in front of the team, like. Yeah, and it's all good.
That's the best. That is the amazing thing.
I love that bit, but I also love the fact that at the end of the day, it wasn't a lie that I needed to go and pick up my bike.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I had the choice to either. What I really like is you've got the choice here to either say, guys, I'm super overwhelmed and I'm feeling really anxious and I need to get out of the office, and I'm pretty sure no one would have judged me. But I also had as like the a leader here, like I can also say, actually guys, I just need to get out of the office, and you don't need to go the full way with your mental health. So it's not like we're actually super open all the time and always talk about our feelings. You've got like the choice, which I think I love as well.
That's what it truly means to bring your whole self to work, I think. Bringing your whole self to work doesn't mean come in and talk about your feelings 24/7. It part of your whole self is maybe the part that just doesn't want to fucking talk and just wants to just get your head down and work and not talk about the other stuff that's going on in your life, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if you're doing that all the time, maybe that's not so healthy, but at the same time, coming in and spewing your feelings all the time isn't healthy or helpful either. So that's the essence of like bringing your whole self to work, I think.
I think, as you can tell, like things are moving fast and we're learning like loads about ourselves and our roles and the team, and as it grows, I think it's exciting, but it's hard as well. So I love doing this. I love just being honest on here and just saying things that I haven't said before out loud. It's good.
So for anyone watching, I think like what's started to happen in Sanctus, which maybe will be like kind of interesting to see how it unfolds, is that we're starting to think about our internal culture, and with all of this stuff, like we're just starting to see that yes, obviously it's about developing self-responsibility of individuals and how much you can take ownership for your own mental health, but it's also about the environment that you create as well. So imagine in the next sort of 6 months to a year, and obviously forever afterwards, we'll really start to talk more about like our internal culture and how we all work as a business.
Yeah, that's nice. Maybe that's for the next update.
Yeah. Cool.
Cheers.